Hi everyone, and welcome to sensualhealing.com.au. My name is Marush, and today I'm going to share with you what I get quite common and hearing quite often when people come to me and they say, one of my hardest things to do is be able to get out of my head, get out of my mind. I just can't stop thinking. So when the clients come, it's just, I can't stop thinking. It's like, well, that's easy. All we need to do is go to the cause as to why you're thinking constantly. What is it that you're thinking about? But as opposed to thinking about what you're thinking, notice what you're thinking. And that's what I show people when I'm coaching them one-on-one. And when we're together in a session, I say, notice what you're noticing when you're thinking. But when you notice, you're in the moment of witnessing and catching yourself out what's actually happening in your mind. Sure, you have that inner dialogue happening and the stories and what needs to happen and just all that mind chatter. But when you're finding yourself doing that, catch yourself out in that moment and notice. Just pure and simply notice. And then when you notice what you notice what you're noticing. And then notice what you're noticing again. And then you'll find, when you go deeper into this noticing, which is in the present, and you're aware and you're feeling more so than you're actually processing. The mind is a secondary. The mind basically processes the information. That's your brain. That's what happens afterwards, after you receive information. It's a matter of sorting it and putting it in a category and labeling it and making sense of it and giving it a meaning and purpose. That's what the mind's there for. Essentially, when you get beyond the mind and look deeper into yourself and find deeper within, when you're going into that noticing, this is where you get into those meditation practices and finding and discovering your inner true sense of self. And then when you find this inner true sense of self, you can feel what's happening on the inside. You can feel what's happening from the inside. And essentially, when you can reconnect with what you're feeling, then that's where most of your core desires, needs, wants, feelings that need, more so the way I like to look at it is, you have a thirst that needs quenching, but your mind's trying to think of something, so you're trying to fulfill it with content, with things, with possessions, with maybe sex. Some people use alcohol, some people use drugs, some people get into sport, which some of those things, more so, the sporting type of things, are more healthy, active things to replace some of the mind things, I'm all in full support of. But when it becomes to substance abuse, for people to get out of their minds, I don't necessarily agree with that whatsoever. So, hence why that noticing practice allows you to get into those deeper places and to know that sense of self. So give it a try, get a feel for it. This is all about feeling. Sensual healing is all about your senses. Discovering your senses, noticing your senses, feeling, listen, hear what your senses are actually trying to tell you. And you have your own intuition, you have your own sense of knowing, not when you think you know. One of my things that I naturally catch out anyone when I have a session with them, a coaching session, is that the first thing, I listen to what they have to share with me in relation to what's going on in their world. And if it's something that they say, I think that then instantly the way that I hear things is like, you think. There's a difference between thinking and knowing. So I catch people out and it's like, catch yourself out. What is it that you're thinking? And it's like, get to the point of knowing. There's a big difference. When you think you know, that's more so based on going through your processes in your mind and making sure, does it fit into this criteria, etc., etc. But when you know, you just know. The thought doesn't even come into it. You know what you know. And this is where the intuition comes into it, the side of the intuitive self. And then it's being more perceptive of your senses, and then feeling into them and trusting in your own physical self. It's just bringing all those components all together and listening to yourself. That's what sensual healing is about. Getting back into your body and listening to your physical self. One I guess philosophy that I absolutely live by is that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, not human beings striving for this spiritual experience to have from time by time. And just that in itself, that philosophy, that mindset is just paradigm shifting. Because it's like the whole mystic side of things, regardless of your spiritual belief or religion, or it just doesn't matter. It's like, look, the magic of life is we're alive, we're here, we're now. It's fantastic just to be living. How could you not love life? Simply, come on guys and girls, just let go of the content, the stories, the baggage, the drama. It's all just stuff. At the end of the day, what does it really matter? What I feel every man, woman and child wants on this planet is peace, love and happiness. That's it. If the whole planet could quite simply get by that and have that in their heart, and then not even work towards it, but start living it. Live, be the person you want to see in this world, and then start reflecting that, start mirroring that with the people you have around you. Don't expect somebody else to be the guru or the guide or showing you exactly how to do it. This is just my contribution. All I'm doing is sharing a piece of myself. I'm no guru, I'm just a normal person just like you, doing my thing and just sharing it. You know what? I absolutely love living. I love life, and it breaks my heart to see people caught up in whatever it is that they're caught up about. Sure, it's linked to their values, it's linked to some of their things that mean to it, but guys, at the end of the day, with it all stripped away, what really does it come down to? What does it really come down to for you? You personally, in your heart of hearts. Put it this way. Here's a couple of ways to get an idea of how your mind is basically governing what it is you're doing, and more to the point, how it is you are being. Say you've got financial issues. Say you're given $1 million tomorrow. Tax-free, didn't have to worry about a single thing about monetary. What then would change in your world? What are some things that you would then do differently than what you're doing right now that makes your heart sing? And it's that right there is some of the things you should at least be starting doing. Start being in your doing. The doing is in your being. And another thing, if you knew you had 1 year to live, only 1 year left to live, let's even bring it forward, say 1 week to live. What if you had 1 week to live? Important things that you would want to do within that week. Who would you want to connect with? What would you want to get resolution to? What, who and what and how? What are some of the most important things for you that you'd want to resolve, or at least do, or experience, or achieve, or... You know what I mean? So it's those things that deep down is what you're feeling you're wanting to achieve. So why not reconnect with that? Why not start living that? Have you pride or ego or humility or fear? What is all of that? All of that is just a vibration you're feeling within. Some people love adrenaline. Some people love to jump. Pretty much it happens quite here. They're jumping out from aeroplanes, and they love that feeling of adrenaline. Well, if you look at it at an energetic sense, adrenaline and fear, it's a frequency, it's a vibration that happens within your physical body. It's your association whether or not, holy crap, I think I'm going to die, and if this parachute doesn't open. So it's the combination of the both. Now, some people thrive on it, and some people it makes them paralyzed. Either way, it's your association in your mind as to what's actually happening physically as a feeling. So look at it as simply like that. A vibration of energy, if you want to. So if that's the case, what's your association that you want to feel with this energy? So